Okay, so the second phase of version 2.4 is finally here for Wuthering Waves. Now, obviously, I'm going to make a full video. Probably the next video is going to be a full review of the story and also Lupa as well, as I've actually managed to have a go at both of them. But just so you know, like a little bit of a spoiler, it was really good. And I think that, one thing that many people don't mention is some of the kind of small collaborations and small kind of updates that Wuthering Waves have actually been, kind of providing us with, which nobody is really talking about and could actually change the way that we play Wuthering Waves in the future. And also there was just some funny things that I think I saw floating around on Reddit and things like that, which I thought would be interesting to talk about. Now, the first announcement which I wanted to talk about, which flew under the radar of a lot of people, was the announcement of the Apple Vision Pro. Not the announcement of the Apple Vision Pro, but the announcement of Wuthering Waves coming to the Apple Vision Pro, which honestly is very confusing to me because, first of all, how's that even going to run? Second of all, it's just one of the most interesting kind of collaborations I think we've ever seen. The Apple Vision Pro, if you don't know, is almost like a VR headset kind of thing. Obviously, Apple have kind of emphasized the point of like it having a nice balance between like real life and you're able to work with it and stuff like that. And the main point of a Vision Pro usually is the fact that you can bring up little screens. So again, this isn't going to be like a full VR version of Wuthering Waves or anything like that, but it does mean that you should be able to play it on like a small screen on your Vision Pro. Now, again, I don't know what the kind of hardware capabilities are of these Vision Pros. I wouldn't think they were like, that crazy in terms of graphics, but apparently they are. I don't really know, to be honest, because again, if it's able to run Wuthering Waves, then it must have some, pretty good capabilities. And I think that people are, going pretty crazy over it. But again, I think that, people say like the what, I gotta see this. Also, Switch 2 version, please. I have no idea what you just said, but I feel satisfied. And again, I doubt very many people are actually going to use the Apple Vision Pro to play Wuthering Waves, let alone do people have an Apple Vision Pro in the first place. I mean, the markup price for an Apple Vision Pro is absolutely crazy. Like, it's cost so much for something that, you probably barely even use in your life, which I think is, pretty crazy. But it is nice to see that it is coming out on different platforms. I've always said, as many platforms as Wuthering Waves can get it on, the better. And I think that, it coming out on the Vision Pro is also a positive, despite the fact that not very many people will use it. Now, obviously, there's been some reactions over on the Wuthering Waves subreddit as well. People saying this means we're one step closer to playing WuWa on a Samsung fridge, which would be absolutely crazy if that happened. I've seen stuff like, for example, like Reverse 1999 being playable in like a car, which I think is kind of crazy. So again, they are like slowly moving forwards to being able to get Wuthering Waves to run on a Samsung fridge. And they're also saying, looked through the comments and didn't see actually any info. Is this just a giant flat screen, or is it modified for VR? I'm pretty sure it is just a flat screen, but they say likely just an in-headset display playing the iPad version. If they would modify it so much it's an extra experience, they wouldn't just shadow drop it with no fanfare, which I think that if there was some kind of like VR kind of big experience, Wuthering Waves would make a massive deal out of it. But again, that's not what they're doing at the moment. Maybe it might be an interesting thing to explore in the future. And they say, well, they're sticking true to what they promised, bringing the game to as many platforms as possible and giving as many ways to play as they can. I don't think they ever promised that they were going to bring it out to many platforms, but, obviously, I'm very excited to see it coming to many platforms. So, again, I'm very excited to see what else they can kind of add it to. And I think, some people are asking for a Nintendo Switch 2 version to come out. Obviously, this is due to the recent kind of release of the Switch 2. So people are going to be very, very on Wuthering Waves' toes in terms of, getting it out on a Switch 2. And also, there's been a lot of people asking when we can finally get it on the Steam Deck. Because if you remember, recently, Wuthering Waves also came on Steam, which made it much easier for people to download the game. Also, kind of keep it organized whenever it comes to some of that stuff. I never actually did that because I just couldn't be bothered to like reinstall it all over again. But it is really helpful if you do like that kind of organization, or you do like downloading things through Steam rather than through the Wuthering Waves launcher. But obviously, due to, some issues or whatever, it hasn't been able to run on the Steam Deck yet, which I think, is pretty disappointing. Now, I had some people as well, like, I noticed some comments of people talking about the Steam Deck. Some people were saying they were able to run it, but I'm pretty sure this is just, like, due to mods or something like that, and they were saying that, they downloaded a mod. Again, it's not official, so I wouldn't recommend doing that at all. It's not, something that would definitely work, and obviously, it's on a Steam Deck as well. You might risk breaking that too. So, again, again, I would just wait for an official release, but it seems like they are working on it in the background. As I did see, they were like releasing some new Linux support for Wuthering Waves. So again, if you're looking for a Steam Deck version, just keep an eye out for that, because again, it could be something that could happen very, very soon. People saying enjoying Lupa's ass in its full glory, which yeah, is kind of crazy. And so I see the Vision Pro. I said, nah, that's nothing. Look at Flo's ass, which is crazy. I've seen people saying can't wait for the dungeon main video. That would be pretty crazy. If you don't know, there's this guy that goes around doing dungeon main stuff on weird different objects, like for example like on a treadmill or something like that, which I think is kind of crazy, and doing it on a Vision Pro would be even crazier. So looking down at Rover's personas during the quest. Again, you know, obviously it's not gonna be like a full like VR experience. It is still just gonna be a screen. So again, it's literally just gonna be like you're looking at a PC screen just through a VR headset. So again, it's not gonna be anything crazy, but it would be nice if they, you know, do start to consider the fact that maybe they could add some VR features into the game. And yeah, maybe add some VR capabilities, because that would be very cool, even if it is just like a small experience. I'm not asking for like the full game where you're literally fighting as Chang-Li and you're like, yeah, you know, it's POV, you are Chang-Li type stuff. No, I'm just asking for like maybe like a, you know, a couple like view spots or something on the map where you could just like look around. I don't know, maybe something like that would be cool. Saying I've been playing on the Vision Pro for a while. It's pretty much the same as an iPad game. A few graphic options aren't there. Bigger screen is nice though. So again, yeah, people are very, very excited for that one. And also there was this other collaboration, which I just thought I would, you know, show you guys because I thought it was quite funny. Was this? I think this is over in Japan. I'm not too sure though. It's one of like the kind of you know, stores where they do have like a lot of collaboration stuff and manga. And they put up a stand of Rover in the room, which is great. But they also put a ZZZ banner down there. Now I don't know if they've done this on purpose and that they're just advertising two things at once, and that they put like ZZZ down there because they also need to advertise that they've got ZZZ stuff as well as Wuthering Waves stuff. Or did they genuinely think that Rover was from Zelda Zone Zero? Like, you know, they're like, ah, yes, that Rover guy from Zelda Zone Zero. We were saying, Lord Arbiter, why are thou dripped out? It said, thou must prepare for the gathering of wives. It said, my favorite ZZZ character, Mare Rover. I knew it. Mare Rover was wise all along, which again, it's crazy. You know, people saying the drip goes crazy. The Miyabi and WuWa and Carlotta and ZZZ would go crazy. So again, you know, people, you know, there's no like hatred or anything. Usually you'd expect that to be like, why would they put ZZZ there next to Wuthering Waves? It's such disrespect or whatever. No, people have been pretty chill with this, which is great to see. And people have just been making fun of the fact that they think that Rover is a part of ZZZ in general. But those are the two main collaboration thingies that I thought was kind of fun to talk about. And obviously, this one is probably the most major news, being that, you know, obviously it's coming out on the Apple Vision Pro. Or, sorry, it's available now on the Vision Pro. So if you got one of those, definitely try it out. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. You know, let me know if you have tried it out and, you know, how good it is. Because again, I don't know anybody that owns a Vision Pro, so I couldn't tell you myself, you know, how this game runs on it or how it is. Obviously, that commenter experienced it, but we don't actually know fully if they do actually have a Vision Pro. I don't know. But again, obviously it's one of those kind of platforms where it's kind of hard to get and it's kind of expensive, so not as many people are going to have it. So yeah, I mean, you know, we'll have to wait and see if there's any footage of anybody playing it out there. But hey, it's a step forwards in terms of platforms, and I'm very excited to see what else Wuthering Waves can produce. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this. Again, you know, it's a very interesting kind of, you know, announcement. And yeah, go over to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff. They've actually got a new carbonated, like, cans. Like, rather than the actual powders. I kind of wanted to talk about this, actually. They got these, like, you know, obviously you got the powders, the typical, obviously, as you can see here, we got, like, Tectone's Happy Juice. We got the kind of powders, right? Well, they're actually releasing cans now, which is, like, carbonated stuff. So I definitely recommend checking that out. That's going to be out on the 11th, I think, of July. So yeah, check that out. You can use my code on that as well and get 10% off on them, because again, you know, you don't even have to put any powder in or anything. You just open it up, drink it, and it's all good. And they've got like 3 different flavors. So I definitely recommend checking it out. Use the link down in the description down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.